good friends, Carlos and Ron. We have had the privilege to work really closely together with Robert here over the last, well, 2.5 months for me. How long have you been in this, Carlos?
Since June, so 6 months.
6 months. And Ron?
Just about the same. I got in second week of May.
Wonderful. And we all came from different backgrounds. You'll hear a bit about our stories tonight, but I wanted to get on and pull these two important good friends of mine on because we all have the same thing in common. We all come from a place of struggle and a pain point, and we were all stuck in our lives at one point, one way or another. And you'll hear a little bit again about our stories tonight. But what comes and what brings us together is Robert Hollis. And for those of you who do not know him, he is such a beautiful soul. He's come from his own personal story, pretty much a rags to riches kind of deal. And for a lot of you who see us online, you may see our highlight reel, but I want to just go back and tell you a little bit about our own personal journeys to date. And I feel that Robert Hollis has really changed and impacted so many lives, and we'll get into that a little bit later. So Ron or Carlos, do you want to go ahead and start off?
Absolutely, I'll get us started. So Tara, thank you so much. It's an honor, to be here with you and the amazing Ron Deering as well. Both of you just have touched my heart in so many ways. And it's just an honor, and a blessing to just totally both know you guys. So thank you so much. And folks, a little bit about me. My name is Carlos Martinez. I live in Chicago. I've been in Chicago all of my life. And I'm twice divorced. I got a daughter from each marriage, two beautiful girls. My eldest one is Amanda. She's about 24 years old. And the youngest one is Kayla. I just celebrated what we call her quinceañera, which is her 15th birthday in cotillion, basically what it is. And besides that, you don't see them, but I got 4 little dogs here, at my feet, 4 little Shih Tzus that keep me really, really busy. But, the bulk of my career was spent in what you call corporate America. So 29 years in corporate America, particularly logistics sales. And for those of you who don't know what logistics sales is, it's like the movement of packages and goods. So I worked at UPS for 21 years. And after that, I just kind of jumped around from, different freight forwarder and, different logistics company after that. But here's the thing. I always knew that if I wanted financial freedom, and what I wanted more than anything else, I wanted time freedom. And I think that's what everyone wants. The money's nice, but the money gives you the time freedom that you're looking for. And I wanted time freedom to just spend it with my daughters. I'm very much a family guy. For the most part, I'm an at-home guy. I like to travel on occasion, but I just love spending time with my family, especially with my daughters and my dogs. And in order to have that time freedom, I knew that I was going to have to do kind of like there goes your beautiful. It's a beautiful lab. Oh my goodness. No, it's a golden retriever or a lab?
No, it's golden retriever.
Golden retriever, and her name is Angel.
Wow. Is he a pup?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She's my mom's dog.
Amazing. I got my little guys here. They're just busy munching on a bone over here. But folks, so here's the thing. I wanted time freedom more than anything else. And I knew, like how to get started in a business. Do I start my own restaurant? Do I start my own this? Well, I just knew what I knew. And that was, it was a fellow UPSer in 1995 that introduced me to the first network marketing company, which was Amway, right? And Amway's been around for a long time. It's a great company. But, after that, I just joined, over the course of 23 years, from 1995 to 2018, okay, I joined 15 different network marketing companies. The one we're with now, which is HempWorks, right, My Daily Choice HempWorks, is my 15th one. And the other ones, I just couldn't make them work. The 14th one, I had some kind of success. It was a high ticket one, but it got, it just kind of went out of business. I'm like, oh my goodness. And it's like from overnight, like in early June of this year, overnight, my income just completely dried up. Be like, oh my goodness, what do I do now? But so that struggle comes from like just living check to check and just not able to get ahead no matter what, not able to break free from the corporate world. And there's nothing wrong with corporate America, there's nothing wrong with it, but I got tired of just living check to check. I got tired of my bosses telling me what my raises were going to be, or if my daughter's school either one of my daughter's school called because my daughter had an earache and I just couldn't take the time off because I had to work, right? And so guess what? I had to have, someone pick up my daughter from school and maybe take her to the doctor, whatever the case may be. And what do we all want? We all want to be with our kids, with our families. We want to be able to just spend the quality time with them. And, it wasn't until I got to know the amazing Robert Hollis, and I've known of Robert Hollis for a long time, but I really didn't get a chance to know him until I joined this awesome company that we're here with. And he's been able to change my life in so many ways. For one, just getting rid of that stinking thinking, and the mindset and the training that he gives is just amazing. And for those of you that don't know Robert Hollis, I mean, Robert Hollis is a man of God. He's a man of faith. And he's all about giving. He is all about giving, give. And as a result, that's the kind of community that we have here. The more we give, the more we're blessed, okay? And, give it out to the universe, give it out to God, whatever it is that you believe in. But it's all about giving, okay? And when you do that from the heart, it just comes back to you tenfold and a millionfold, and Robert has done that. And so with that, I've never met a man like Robert. Never have I ever met like him, because all the other organizations that I was a part of, the other network marketing companies, it was always a competitive nature. And there's nothing wrong with competing, but it's even more important to be creative, okay, as opposed to competitive. And that was one of the things that I learned. And again, this is a book that Robert Hollis recommended, which is The Science of Getting Rich. I had never heard of this book until I met Robert, okay? So this Science of Getting Rich, it teaches you about, hey, there's no need to be competitive. You can be creative and you can share. You can share the wisdom and the knowledge with other people and lift other people up, as opposed to just being competitive and not sharing the success with other people. Because those other organizations that I was with, when you would find a leader that was having success, well, guess what you want to do? You gravitate towards that leader, and you want to know what that leader is doing so that you can have success and just kind of mirror and copy what they're doing. Well, guess what? Whenever I would reach out to them, okay, guess what would happen? All right. They would just hoard their information. Like, Carlos, well, I'm just busting my butt off. They would not share anything. I'm like, well, how am I going to get ahead? And that was part of the frustration, that nobody would help you. But now you come to, we're under Robert Hollis's leadership, and he's like, not only does he help you, but he actually does like Facebook Lives to help launch your business, right? I've never seen anybody do anything like that, and he offers his training, twice a week. He has this awesome training. And, like today, we were on his training earlier today. He took 3 hours of his time, 3 hours of his time to train us. Who does that? Who does that? No one that I know of, And so again, and not only him, his wife, his wife, Terry's amazing as well. And they're just both such amazing giving individuals. And guess what? He's given us the authority. He's given us the opportunity to share this training with anyone and everyone, because that's just the kind of guy he is. The more we share, the more we lift people up. You know what? We couldn't even stop the blessings if he wanted to. And it's just amazing. And so now, in such a short time period, the success that we've had, and it's really because of Robert. It's truly because of Robert and how he has just opened our mind and just allow us to give and give. And that's what we do now. So we got people reaching out to us, and everyone, like people that aren't even part of our team, and they find it so refreshing that we are willing to help them, even though we have no financial stake in them, nothing. The benefits that we get are in heaven or in the universe, and we put it out there, and that's because of Robert. That's what he teaches us, and that's why I'm just so grateful to have him in my life. And he's changed my life in so many ways. And then my daughters, the best thing to me, the biggest compliment that I've ever gotten is from my daughters. Like, Dad, you're a different person. You're a different person. We used to see you always so, amen to that. Yeah, we used to see you so stressed out. We always used to see you just, and kind of angry and grumpy. And now you're just so happy, because I really, really felt that I have found my calling. I have found my purpose. And that's why when people reach out to me, I gladly help them out as much as I can. And guess what I do? I just point them to Robert. Hey, guess what? I don't have to be the deal. I don't want to be the deal, because that's just too much stress, right? Robert's the deal. And guess what? Because that's how he was trained. That's how his mentors trained him. And he's just doing the same thing. So it's just amazing. So I'm just so blessed. And so thank you for the opportunity to speak here, Tara. Thank you so much.
I just want to add to this. You said it's about giving, and we are in a perfect time of year right now. It is the season of giving. And, I reflect back on my story in 2016. It was December. And I remember this Christmas like it was, you know, very vivid in my mind. It was probably one of the hardest Christmases of my life, my entire life. I was 30 years old, fresh out of an abusive relationship. I had a 3 and a 1-year-old. Actually, my son was under 3. They were both in diapers. Moved into a new place, was barely struggling to get by. And I used all of my money, barely had any money, but I used all of it to give my kids a good Christmas, because that's what you want to do as a parent. You want to make sure that they have everything. And I remember my 3-year-old, his Christmas was literally making his room look and make it special for him. I can remember just like getting him a comforter on his bed that was his favorite, and you know, posters for his wall to make him feel at home, because you know, our whole life had changed very drastically. And I didn't have a credit card because things were maxed, and it was a hard one. And I can remember thinking like, wow, how humbling of an experience that is, because that was my rock bottom. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to stay in that situation, so I left. And that's what a good parent does. But you know, when you're struggling, and Robert says this very often, when you are bankrupt in every facet of your life, when you can't make your bills, and you're struggling to be a good parent because you're stressed out about income, and I had no family around. I honestly, all I wanted was the support of my family going through a situation like that. And they lived all the way across the country. You know, I didn't even have the funds to be able to go home. I couldn't even afford the funds to, you know, take my kids home when they were born to be able to see my grandmother. They actually never met their grandmother, who was like a very influential woman in my life. And that just broke my heart. As a single mom, of course, it's a real struggle to be able to give them a lifestyle that you just think you deserve and your children deserve. And so that December, I got pretty real with myself. I can remember being on my knees at the side of my bed every night, praying to God to just help me get through this. I repo to my car, you know, starting all over again, and having my kids and just looking at them thinking, where are you going to go from here, Tara? What next? So that is when the universe put something in front of my path, which was an online opportunity. It wasn't this opportunity, it was another one. And thank God I dove right into it. You know, I think when you come from a place of so much discomfort, that you're willing to get uncomfortable, because it's only going to be up from there. You have nothing left to lose. So when I got into it, I had no excuses. I treated it like it was going to change my life. And that's what it did. You know, and then last Christmas, which was an entire year later, I made over $15,000 last December in 1 month through online marketing. And it was just after I had taken Robert's course, which is how I got involved with him. I went on the search of Google, being the driven, ambitious person that I am. I went on the hunt for more training, and I found Robert Hollis. His story from rags to riches, you know, injured at work, repo, losing his house, everything. I mean, how humbling. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. And so when I found him, I took his course and then went on to make $15,000. And this Christmas, you know, I now have the privilege to work with him. And it certainly didn't cost me the amount of money that it did for me to take his initial course last Christmas. And that's what I want to give everybody here today, is an opportunity to work with Robert, because he can unstuck you, which is the title of this. He can literally unstuck you from all different areas of your life, not just financially. I mean, he can work with you financially. He just hit his 55th millionaire to date, Melanie Riba, who also comes from a very similar situation to me, a single mom living out of her car. And look, you know, I don't even know her timeline, but it wasn't very long that she went from that story to now, you know, Robert's 55th millionaire. So one of Robert's favorite quotes that always sticks with me is, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, and he is a godsend. So I can't say enough amazing things about him. I literally was on a 3-hour training with him today, because I feel like I'm, again, my mind is a little bit stuck. And what do? You go back to your teacher. You don't need to know all the answers. You're growing. It's a journey, right? So, it always just brings me back to my heart center when I can get in front of Robert and I can get my people in front of Robert, and you can really change a lot of different areas of your life. And so I'm just incredibly blessed to be working with him and working with you too. Ron, do you want to tell people your story? Because you got a powerful one too.
Well, I'd like to say I started out at the North Pole, but I didn't. So we'll just leave that one leave that alone, okay? First off, I am honored and blessed to be on the same live with you guys and to be sharing a journey with you and certainly with Robert. I have a little bit different situation than Tara and Carlos in that I'm a little bit older. And I've been doing network marketing on and off for 40 years. And for me, it started a long time ago, back when I was a very young man and I got drafted during the Vietnam War. And I remember my first full month in the service being shocked. We got paid $76. And it was during that time that I was single, didn't need a lot of money, but I needed something to just supplement my income. And being that I grew up in Michigan and that we had heard of Amway and so forth. So once I got back into the States and got back to my permanent party location down in North Carolina, I was introduced to Amway. And that was my first introduction to network marketing. And I loved the concept. I fell in love with the idea that the more people I helped get unstuck or be successful, change their life, the more people I impacted, the better my life would be. And that was so foreign to what I'd been taught in corporate America. And I hadn't really been in corporate America in that sense, but just growing up and being a part of that. So for the next 35, 40 years, I did spend my life in corporate America. I got out of the service and ended up going to work for a civilian company in military intelligence, and wasn't very conducive to married life. And like Carlos, I had been divorced twice, and my wife and I now have been together for over 30 years. But amazing lady, just an amazing woman. I'm very, very blessed. But along that journey, you start learning things that you don't know how it's going to impact you. You don't know how it's going to influence you on your life. And whenever you got stuck, in the military, we are taught very clearly, you're a team. You need to always reach out. It was commonplace for us to find a mentor. It was commonplace for us to be, and we were kind of talking about this earlier, emotions were something that were thrown out of your life. There was no luxury in your life for having emotions and things like that. So you had to learn to take life on and get from being unstuck. And now as I'm getting older, I ended up losing my career in the corporate world. And not very long after that, we lost our home. We lost everything we had. I was making mid six figures, driving a Porsche. My wife had a Cadillac. We had a 4,000 square foot home. My typical bonuses in life are over $25,000 just for one bonus. Just anything and everything we wanted. And I worked hard for it. And it was taken away from us overnight. And not long after that, we lost our home. We lost pretty much everything we had. We ended up buying a house with one of my daughters and her husband, in which we still live to this day. And it was a struggle after that. There were times when we didn't have hardly enough money to do anything. And it was such a devastating struggle for me, someone that had been so successful and had taken on so much in life and been through things that most people will never see in their lives and never have to go through. And I'm thankful of that. But for me to be in a position where I didn't feel like I could correct this, I couldn't change it. I was being blown, to all kinds. Luckily, Tara, with us, our kids, we have 6 children. They were pretty much on their way to being grown up and on their own. But I always knew that network marketing and having a business of my own was the way to go. And a year and a half ago, little over a year and a half ago, I was in a business and I thought it was going great. And I was out in Las Vegas at a convention, and things were, I thought, going perfect. You know, I'm gonna kill this. I'm gonna be back in the game, and everything is gonna be perfect. And God had different plans. And I was having a little bit of indigestion for a couple of weeks before that, and I never get indigestion, but Tums took care of it. And this was Memorial Day weekend, and I came back, and the following Monday, my wife, God bless her, said, "You're going into the hospital." And I went in and got a checkup, and they said, "Oh, you got something going on here. You may need a stent or something." And when they finally checked me out, they found out that I had quite a few blocked arteries, and they had to actually cut my chest open. And I had they had 5 blocked arteries, and they could only fix 4 of them. But of course, then, you know, the personality, I might jump back into it, man. They told me I couldn't get out of the hospital until that was on a Tuesday, and I couldn't get out till the following Monday. And I couldn't even get out then unless I did everything I was supposed to do. So I got up every day and I walked 4 or 5 times in a day. And Saturday, the cardiac surgeon came in and he said, "Wow, I don't know what you've been doing, but man, we're going to send you home today." 3.5 days after I got in there. And that's just who I am in life. And I got out of there and went to my cardiac physical therapy over the next few months, and everything was going great. And about 3 months into it, I was at physical therapy and on the treadmill, and I thought I was going to die. I was in so much pain. And I sat down for a while and got feeling better and decided I'd go over to the VA office and get checked out. And next thing I know, they're coming in and telling me they've called an ambulance and I need to call somebody because I'm having a heart attack. You know, and I'd already called my wife and said, "I'm sure it's not my heart, but I'm going to go over there and get checked. Or they just fixed me. My plumbing's perfect. You know, this can't be it, you know, ho, ho, ho." But I had to have 4 stents. 2 of the grafts they put in my heart totally failed. And if I hadn't have gone over there. Now, understand, in January of last year, I had total replacement of the shoulder. And they told me I should have died. 5 blocked arteries and surgery like that, I should have died on the table. The year before, they went into my neck and had to fix my neck. You should have died. There's no way you should have made it through that. You had 5 blocked arteries. That didn't just happen in 6 months. So in May of this past year, I found this business. I was stuck. I was at a place in my life. I don't know that I was despondent, but I was confused. I didn't know where I was going to go, but I was stuck because here with my health, I couldn't do my business that I was in. I didn't know what I was going to do. And certainly God opened up a door and brought me into a relationship with Robert Hollis. And then since then, my good brother, Carlos and Tara, and it's been like a whirlwind. You know, we've had some incredible success. We're going to probably get another rank advancement this month, and things have changed totally. And it's going to make, you know, we talked about this beforehand. Christmas is that time of year when there's 2 types of people. Those people that are just so excited, and no matter what happens in their life, they've got good things. Their kids are getting presents. They've got trees. They've got all these good things. They got family. Everything is going great. And then there's that kind of the middle of the road that have a lot of that, but maybe not everything. But there's always families that don't have a lot. You know, like Tara was talking about, that just breaks my heart. And I'm not thinking about it, so don't, you know. It's nice to be in a place in our lives. Thank you for laughing, because that's just, you know, it was getting a little dusty in here. But
Let it come out. Let it come out.
It's great to be in a position with us right now, not only just the 3 of us, but with Robert and all the people that are on our teams and that we have something that we can offer a family that's struggling, that we can impact their lives so much more than we could ever do in any other way. It's a time of year that allows us not only to make, it's one thing to make a big impact maybe in July, but at Christmas time when families are being torn apart and families are having struggles and everything, to be in a position where we are right now, where we can not only help them in their physical lives, but help them in their financial lives, help them have some hope in their lives that they otherwise wouldn't have. is something that just takes me to a level in my heart and in my life that I haven't been in for a long, long time. So, and I wouldn't be here without Robert. Robert and I talk on a daily basis now. We're best friends, and his training and his heart and his love for helping other people, it's not about him. It's about all of us. And that only falls down into our team, where now it's not about us. It's about our team, and it's about those people we impact. And, you know, reaching Tara, allowing us tonight to just share our story, tell people that there is hope, show people that if you are stuck, we have an avenue that Tara can, you know, share with you and get you connected with all of this training. And not even, you know, the training is amazing. The free gifts are amazing. The books that we read, The Greatest Miracle in the World, right? Look at us, all three of us. Og Mandino. You know what the answer to this question? Because this book is based on a question. What is the greatest miracle in the world? It's Tara. It's Carlos. It's Ron. It's you. And to have that opportunity right now, to have that honor to be able to be in a position to impact all of these people, to impact these lives at such a time of the year, I am so honored and so blessed and so thankful. And Tara, I can't thank you enough for inviting us and asking us to be with you tonight. So God bless you.
I love you guys. You guys are awesome. I swear, every tough day that I have in this business, because there's tough days and there's amazing days and there's days where you're up and there's days and you're down, and it's a roller coaster. Entrepreneurship is never a straight line. It's never a straight up. If anyone tells you it's going to work that way, is lying. So I'm just so happy to have people in my life like you two, that if it's, you know, if I'm quiet, you reach out to me, or Carlos, you send me a text just saying, you know, I hope you're doing well. And that's what this business is all about. It's not about changing just your health. It's not just changing your finances. It's the whole meal deal. And I'm just really, really fortunate and blessed to have you guys. So Carlos, how can people get more information about getting unstuck?
Yeah. So you know what? And I love it because we don't want to be the deal, and that's okay. So when people, you know, they're like, well, I don't have authority, I don't have success. That's okay. You don't have to, because Robert has it all. And that's what we do. And so all we do is point, guide, and direct people. So if you're looking for a way to get unstuck, all right, you're just tired, whatever that may be, you know, to me, you know, and you know, getting unstuck means different things to different people, right? You know, you're trying the same things over and over. You just can't seem to just make it work. You know, for some people, they're like, you know what? I've never taken a nice vacation with my family. That's all I would want. Just a nice vacation with my family to Disney World, Niagara Falls, wherever it may be, just a nice, decent vacation. For others, you know, they're worried about retirement. We talk to so many seniors, right? They're like, I don't know how they do it. It breaks my heart, you know, and they're like living like on $1,000 a month, $800 a month, whatever the case may be. You know, they're worried about retirement. For others, they're worried about their kids, you know, college tuition coming up. Okay. Other people, you know, they've lost a loved one. You know, now they've only got one income or no income, or, you know, they've become orphans, or whatever the case may be, or they've got, you know, loved ones that with huge medical bills, you know. So whatever that means to you, you know, just getting unstuck, you know, whatever that means to you, we have found a way for you to get unstuck, okay? What you've got to do is just get in touch with the person, right, that invited you to watch this video. And we're going to introduce you to the amazing man, Robert Hollis. He's given us the authority here. And you're going to have the same authority when you know that he's the authority to give us away for free, okay? Mm-hmm. You're going to come in, he's an awesome series training, and all you've got to do is, we just ask you to come just one way, all right? Come as you are, because we're going to accept you and love you no matter how you are, okay? Just in an open mind, okay? Open mind, be coachable, all right? Follow instructions and take action. Even if all you can take is just, you know, 20 minutes a day, but allow us, you know, to guide you and direct you to the man, you know, which is Robert Hollis, because he has definitely impacted our life. And here's the most amazing thing about Rob, you know, yes, so he's a multimillionaire. Yes, he's made a bunch of people millionaires as well. But his biggest thing, what he loves the most, is that he has impacted thousands upon thousands of thousands of lives. And that's loves more than anything else. He wants to be remembered as a person who just gave and gave and gave and gave, because that's what he is. He's a giving man. He's just a wonderful man. And guess what? You're gonna follow this series, okay? Just follow it. Action. Be coachable, but come as you are. All right. Just say, I'm ready. I'm ready to receive this coaching. I'm ready to receive training, Hollis, and I promise you, we'll point right path. Alone. Right, you're not alone. We're going to make sure that you're going to follow through with this, and we're going to be a part of this awesome, wonderful community. I'm telling you, it's like nothing else. I've been a part of this industry for 23 years. Most of it failure, most of it part of just competitive nature where no one shared anything with you. Be prepared to be spoken well of. Be prepared to receive positive. If you come a broken home or a broken relationship where you're just kind of used to people just saying mean things and derogatory things and calling you names, people are just here. You're going to get just the opposite. People actually care about you and are going to reach out to you and just to see how you're doing, right? And so be prepared for that, okay? Because you're going to be nowhere else. So all you got to do is just say, hey, I'm ready to get unstuck. Show me what I got to do. Show me Robert's training, and we're going to point, guide, and direct you in the right direction, right? Mm-hmm. So with that, we give it back to you, Tara. Thank you so much.
You make such a good point there. It never hurts to come in and take a look, right? Just take a look how it can work for you. If not, you get Robert's, one of Robert's best-selling Amazon books. I mean, he's a selling Amazon bestseller of 2 books, actually. Hacking and Shackled to Freedom or Shackled to Free. So, this well documented, making people successful. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear, and that's what we have here. And this is our gift to you, is to give you some free training. You can come in, you can get out, you can see what the deal is. Our Facebook group, his training group is at 25,000 people now.
Yes.
That's a huge impact in the world, So I hope you guys comment below, free trade, free gift, whatever, and you come and check out. When feel free to pass it on to other people. Feel free to add people in there. It's the season of giving. So I want to say thank you so much for watching tonight on Saturday, spending some time. Carlos and Ron here. And if you have any questions, please drop them down below or reach out to us privately. Guys.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks. Bye for now.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Yeah, bye.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Christmas. Bye-bye.